Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first episode of the Pen and the Pad. This one right here would be featuring one of the biggest icons. Actually, he probably be the biggest in some ways. We're going to be talking about Nas and the Magic 3 album. Oh yeah, we got that coming up. Because that's what we do here. We like to talk about real hip-hop. I be your host, Keon Mack. Welcome to the Pen and the Pad. And I also got my co-host with me, Terry. What's going on, homie?
I'm making it, brother. What's good with you?
Oh, man, I'm cool. And we here for another one, man. That's what we here to do, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to go ahead and get this Magic 3 out of the way. By the way, I mean, how your day going so far, man?
Well, it's cool. I guess now, since it's, the next day already. Yeah, it's cool so far. Can't complain.
I feel you.
Gotta be productive today.
Right. I've been cooling for the most part myself. I actually went on the patio today and enjoyed the fucking weather. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Look, this intro is I love it. I love the beat. But let me turn it down just a tad bit. It was getting me a little hype a little bit. But yeah, man, I enjoyed the weather out there today. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and get to this album, Nas Magic 3. This is his 6th album in the past 3 years. This man been on it, man.
Mm-hmm.
He been on it. This is his second trilogy that no, this is a third trilogy. Right? No. I don't know.
This is his first.
The King Disease?
Hold on. Yeah. But this is his first trilogy, though, right? I need to look back on that.
No, because King Disease was a trilogy, right? And then, what was the other one? Fuck it. I'm in cloud 9 right now, so this is the worst time for me to be fucking thinking. Let's go ahead down the track list. Of course, it was produced by Hit Boy again, and I have no problem with it. I'm gonna go ahead and run through the tracks. 1 is Fever, 2 TSK, 3 Superhero Status, 4 I Love This Feeling, 5 No Tears, 6 Never Die featuring Little Wheezy Baby, 7 Pretty Boy Girl, Pretty Young Girl, and 8 Based on True Events, 9 Based on True Events Part 2, 10 Sitting with My Thoughts, 11th track is Blue Bentley. And then we have Jodeci Member at 12, 13, Speechless Part 2, 14, Japanese Soul Bar, and the final song on this hip-hop album is 1-800-NAS and Hit. So let's go ahead with Fever. First song. That's like the intro. That's like the opening. How you feel about that?
It's cool. I thought it was A1, especially for his age and just the opening of it. It's not bad. It's just, saying a lot more mature than, what he's used to. And might I add, when we talk about Nas before, what, about 10 years ago, he was used to coming out with albums every 3 to 4 years, every 2 to 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with him being on the ball like this, dropping album back to back albums is kind of a shocker to me. Not a shocker. I don't want to say that because he's been doing it for the past what 5, 6 years now.
Yeah, but
Been super
Fever,
consistent.
Fever.
Yeah,
How
but
you feel
Fever, yeah,
about Fever?
it was good. It was a good intro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't.
I, I really enjoyed it. It
Yeah,
just listening to it and the beat that takes you already. I fuck with that beat hard. Hit Boy definitely. Hit Boy and Nas is a great fucking match.
yeah,
That's Mystical and Pharrell. That's goddamn. You know what I mean? Like that's Missy and Timberland. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Hit Boy and Nas. I really like them. I
That's
love
Future and
this.
what's the producer that Future fuck with that been
Look, man, don't get me
uh
making up young people name, man. MB
I forgot
Boy,
dude.
Young G Joff. I don't know these motherfuckers, man. I really don't. But yeah, man, this is a nice fix. Fever, it definitely gave me a good intro to this album. I fuck with it. TSK.
Yeah.
TSK, what you think
It,
about that one?
I thought that was a see, I don't like to compare his last albums to certain stuff, but I thought the track was good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some some tracks I don't on this track particularly, you know, I feel like Nas's lyrics are the beat sometimes just overshadows his lyrics.
What?
So, but with this one, I, like I said, sometimes I don't think the beat fits what he's saying or how he sounds. But nevertheless, I thought it was a cool track. I don't think it was something that I would be back to back listening to. But it was cool.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, man. I think Nas dog walked these fucking beats, man.
yeah. I ain't saying he
Nas,
didn't.
no,
Yeah,
you said sometime the beat overshadows Nas and what he's saying in his lyrics. It's like,
he did beat up.
no,
He
the
did beat
fuck
up the
it
beat.
didn't. He
He
carried
beat up the
these
beat on
beats.
this one.
The beats fit him, but he showed the beats where the fuck I need them to go right now. Oh,
Mm,
I'm sorry, man. I gotta disagree with
I
that.
agree
But
with you. I agree with you to an extent
yeah,
on a good 60% of the album.
okay, but for TSK, I think
For
it did. I
TSK,
think it did the right job for it. I think the beat went with it. I love it. It was a good song to come right after Fever. I fuck with it.
yeah, it was cool.
Superhero. What do you think about that joint? Superhero status. Sorry.
That was a good song. Like I said,
Yeah.
I love the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Nas fan anyway, so I love the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the lyrics was on point to me. Period. It's just like I feel different from you when it comes to the production because I'm not used to hearing Nas on these types of beats. So when I hear him, it has to grow on me. The beat has to grow on me, not his lyrics. But I feel like he bodied a lot of these beats. But like I said, like the beat, like it's just him, his lyrics alone to me when I hear it, it's cool,
Mm-hmm.
and the beat is cool. Hit Boy is a phenomenal producer, so yeah, it's a
Okay.
good song.
Superhero to me was the best song on his album. That was my favorite. When I heard that one, I was like, "Yo, this is it." If there was one song that attracts me to this entire album, it's Superhero Status. And maybe because I was up there floating on the clouds when I was little, but I listened to this thing on so many different occasions, and this one always hit me different. So Superhero Status, that's my highest rated one on here. I love this feeling. What you feel about that one? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, I said that gives me old. It was written vibes. He has a
Yeah, I can
song
see that.
on there, so I was I was digging it because of that feeling. It was a nostalgic feeling taking me back. So yeah, it reminded me of the I Am album and the It Was Written album. So yeah,
Mm.
I love that track.
It was giving me basic track. I like
Yeah,
it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't nothing that stands out for anything. So
that's what I'm saying. It was more of the beats to me that I'm used to hearing them all, in my
yeah,
opinion. So
yeah.
that's the reason I kind of was like, all right, well, this is more of a this is more of a it was written type of vibe, in my opinion.
Okay. No tears.
Uh, I liked it.
Mm,
I liked it. It was good.
yeah.
And it
No.
kind of was showing like he was just storytelling again,
Yeah.
in my opinion, like because he's a good storyteller. So in this song he it was a good storytelling vibes in this one, especially when he talked about you know uh your gun case and all that other shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's what I remember about the track. So I mean, but at the end of the day, I think this song was pretty much based on lost youth or something,
Mm.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, it was a good song.
I
It was a it
definitely
was,
liked the vibe to it. It had me listening. I wanted to listen to it. I'll listen to it again. I wouldn't complain about that. So, yeah, I
yeah,
agree with that. Never Die featuring Lil Wayne.
good track. Uh, I like Lil Wayne. I felt like he could have did better. I'm not sure how I'm trying to say it. I like Lil Wayne in there. I like the feature, of course, but yeah, it was a good song.
Uh, I
It was a
I
good song.
I honestly, this was a basic song to me too.
Yeah,
Um, to me, if you would have took Lil Wayne off, it still would have been a basic song.
yeah,
So
it was
I
repetitive,
I
in my
think
opinion.
Wayne was a waste on that song. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
that's what I said. He could have did better. I was trying to be nice, but
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I really, it's a good. I'll listen to it, but like I said, that this is not what attracted me to this album. Um,
yeah,
Pretty Young Girl. That and that was giving me kind of basic too.
yeah.
I really won't, I'm not too crazy over it, but it's not a bad
I
song.
agree.
No, let me
I agree
make
with
this
you.
clear. Let me make this clear. There's no song on this album that's a bad song.
Yeah,
There's no bad songs on this album,
nah, it's not.
but they do have basic songs. It's like, okay, that's basic Nas. Like that's basic Nas just kind of, putting some shit together. But there's a lot of songs on here that you're saying this nigga's preaching to you. And he's kind of doing that through all of it, but
I think he does that period throughout his
yeah.
albums, period.
Yeah.
But with this song too, it's like I think this song was Mason basically, showing that he cares about women and love women and to treat the right one right type thing.
Mhm.
So, I can dig it, for the message it has, but it's not something that that you can find yourself just all right, let me pop this in type thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's cool. I
gotcha.
like it. I like it.
Based on true events.
Uh, Storytelling, same thing to me. I thought that was, you know, uh, it was a good song. And like I
Mm.
said, it was more of him like classic Nas storytelling in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
this
it
one
was a good song to me.
was pretty basic to me. Uh Not bad, but basic.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
Uh, I feel the same way for based on True Events Part Two.
That part two, yeah, it
You
was
know, it wasn't better than
that.
the first. It wasn't worse than the first. It was just
Yeah, this is like
another basic one.
kind of like when he did New York State of Mind,
Mm.
then part one and then two. So it was kind of like it was kind of
But
like
I
that in
wouldn't
my opinion.
compare it to New York State of Mind because
No, I wouldn't
that's
compare
a
it as far as it
classic.
being. Yeah, but
This
I'm talking
ain't
about.
this ain't classic, right? I get what you're talking about, but these aren't classics like that. Sitting in my thoughts. Once again, I throw this into the basic category.
Mm-hmm.
I got it, but at some point it just seemed like he was rambling in my ear. No matter how many times I go to that song, I'll
Yeah.
have it. I'll be listening to it. I'll be with it, and then it just sounds like rambling. Within the next 40 seconds. By the time the second verse come around, so I wasn't too much of a fan of it, but I'll still listen to it because it's Nas and
Yeah.
because it's still not bad. How you feel
Yeah.
about it?
Uh, like I said, it's you hit the nail on the head with it. It's Nas. I'm gonna listen to it because it's Nas, and he gonna have some lyrics. So the lyricism thing is never off with me, unless it just doesn't make sense type thing with the
Mm.
beat and the hook. But uh, like I said, it's just basic to me. It wasn't a bad song. It wasn't a good song. It was just a filler, in my opinion.
Yeah, Blue Bentley. I I like this song. This was above basic. I really like this song right here. Uh, Blue Bentley. It really it gave me good vibes. Just listening to it. That's the classic Nas that I like. I like hearing him when he's doing that type of flow, when he's, talking like that.
Balling out type flow.
That's
I felt like that was more of like a yeah, I'm the shit. And
man.
this struck me because I love when him and AZ rap together. So
Mhm.
this song struck me as one of them songs where they talking about swag and like, yeah, nigga, I created this shit type
Yeah.
attitude.
I was
So I
listening.
love the song.
I was listening, man, and what he was saying, it made sense. He was once again dog walking the shit out of the beat. I said, man, I'm sorry, this is more than basic.
Mm-hmm.
Jodeci member. I'm sorry, basic. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. It was it was.
It was basic for me.
It was one of them things I was listening to it as I was, you know, not cutting grass, cutting down tree limbs and stuff in the backyard. I was like, all right, well, yeah,
Speechless
it just
Part Two. That was kind of basic to me too.
yeah.
I didn't really get more into it anymore into the last two songs, which was Japanese Soul Bar and 1-800 Nas and Hit. Those two songs I like. And the only reason why I like the last song is because it was a good. At first, I was going to have that as basic too, not to skip over too many, but let me just go to the last song real quick. Now, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just get to the last song when I get to the last song. But Speechless was basic for me. How did you feel about Speechless Part Two?
Um, it's cool with me, man. I don't think it was whack, but it's one of them things that it for me. I've only listened to it three times. So for
Hmm.
me, like I thought it was cool. The lyrics was, but I'm not feeling the hook on that.
Right.
So it was cool. It wasn't bad. It was cool.
Gotcha. Japanese Soul Bar.
Mm, I think this is another one of them tracks where he was kind of like, almost a little bit of swag talk a little bit.
Mm.
Being in the Japanese soul bar, he's talking about, just, you know, drinking and cigars. Because he's really not talking about really, I really didn't hear nothing of substance too much unless I need to hear it again. But I liked it, but it was more like you was just peeping out the scene and,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
so yeah, it just relaxing. So it was a good song.
Yeah, that was a good song for me too. 1-800 Nas and Hit. That joint, I was going to leave it as a basic song, but then I heard Nas talking this shit at the end. And for some reason, with certain beats, if you talking shit on your music and it just got that good feeling to it, kind of like how
Mm.
Jay-Z did on the Black album with what was that song?
Cedric, Cedric the Entertainer.
Nah, man, my first beat, my last, like the first song I sing, and then he
Yeah.
started talking this shit at the end. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good way to say goodbye on the album. And Nas was talking this shit at the end, and I'm listening, peeping it out, and I started liking it, so it made me like it even more. So, I'm actually a fan of that song right there. He
I'll have to
started
listen
off
to it
good and
again.
he ended it good. So I'm all right with
I
that one.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really like I said, maybe I have to listen to it again like you, but I just breezed through that song. I thought it was basic in my opinion. But when he
Yeah,
got tired, I didn't even pay attention to him talking shit like that because I'm not used to Nas talking shit.
right.
So I really didn't.
I mean, he won't
I ain't gonna
talking
lie, I
shit
didn't.
like fuck you niggas or nothing like that. He was just,
Yeah,
he was feeling himself,
he was talking his shit. Yeah,
saying
he was
this
talking his shit up.
goodbye, saying this goodbye, waving to people and shit. He shout out Jay, yeah, like he was just doing stuff like that. He won't being,
Yeah,
niggerish or anything.
I respect it.
Right. So Magic 3. What would you rate this album as a whole?
I give that a solid 3.5.
I think I'm right there with you there, buddy.
Yeah, because
Good
I think
3.5.
the
Uh,
production was A1, like I was saying. So, and then
mm-hmm.
the lyrics, if we gonna just go off of lyrics alone, yeah, I'll have to give it a good old 5 for lyrics.
It's
But if we
crazy. Nas, he just keeps
production as a
making it.
whole,
He keeps making
yeah,
it past basic, man.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like we got rappers out here that's been in the game for years, but he's still in the game and he's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So, shout out to Nas.
Yeah. Now we have to bring up some bad news. I agree with you on that 3.5. Uh, I agree with you on it. It definitely is a good album. It is for hip hop. This, you know, for me to tell you, if I was to describe this album as a whole, I would say it's hip hop.
Yeah.
You need to space out. It need to be you and your headphones or you in your room with the door shut, just bumping Nas and just laid down chilling. Like you
Mm.
really have to make peace with this album to get the full effect. Especially if you smoke one or sipping on
Yeah.
something and you just let Nas talk to you in your ear for a little while, I'm telling you, you're gonna love the album. It'll touch you, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll get to your heart and make you feel it, and you'll feel what hip hop really is about. Just listening to this album, man. It's beautiful. I recommend people to get it. Um, but yeah, how do you feel about the album as a whole? I know you rated a 3.5, but like describe it.
As a whole, it's just for me, it's something I would ride to if I was traveling somewhere and it was so I didn't want to be hyped and I just want to relax. it's something I will listen to like when I come home and get off work and I just want to sit down for a minute. Don't want to move. Don't want to do nothing. Don't even want to take a shower yet before I just want to decompress. A
You just
decompression
want to
album
be
for me.
funky and listening to Nas.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do before I jump in the
Fuck it.
shower, man.
I'm gonna sit
That's
my
like fuck
stinking
it.
ass here
Sit
and
my
listen to
stinking
some
ass
Nas.
down,
Hey,
decompress when I get out of work,
so
and be like, all right, let me see what this album talking about.
so there you go, people. So just make sure before you wash your ass, you listen to Nas, okay?
Yeah.
So all funky booty motherfuckers gotta
Or
listen to
or
Nas.
when you know washing your ass, you know, sitting this up. Man, this is starting to sound perverted. Why did you take this here?
Hey, you took it there with you. You want to listen to shit before you wash your ass, man.
Like,
Uh,
I'm just saying, is there a rule
I
that
mean,
we can't listen to shit?
you the one who picked that out before I took a
Hey,
shower or
sir.
anything. So you know, but yeah, I was with you. I don't find this as a joyride song
Yeah.
or album. I don't find that as bumping it in your car. I don't feel that. I
Nah,
honestly feel just you need to be at
it's a
peace
hip
with
hop
it.
album.
Yeah, you need to be at
Yeah.
peace with this one and listen to what the OG preaching to you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in kinda in. So I was looking for the first week sales for Magic 3. And I'm telling you, man, it was like fucking searching for the goddamn head of the Illuminati, man. I couldn't find that shit nowhere. So
Mm.
I finally got to a source.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you were right. Uh, where you said 12 to you said 12 to 20,000. You predicted
Mm-hmm.
he would sell, and
Yeah.
they don't have a confirmed number, but the word is that it did do less than 16,000. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's right because people really don't buy albums like that anymore. But
Yeah.
at the same time, less than 16,000, man. That's pretty bad.
I wouldn't say that's bad for this era. I wouldn't say that, especially how Nas is already critically acclaimed, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I wouldn't say that
yeah.
because
Well, they
this
go
era, man,
mostly
like
off of streaming and all that shit now, right?
yeah, and then Nas don't do a lot of promotion for his shit like a Drake or most of these rappers. So you know, I just kind of look at it like that's just how hip hop is. Ain't nobody doing no big numbers like that unless you a Drake, a Jay, a Beyonce, things of that nature. So and Nas has never been like a super big superstar rapper. He's been a star rapper as far as always going platinum or two, but he's never been a mega superstar like a Nelly or somebody whose numbers that you project is going to do bigger. So I already knew that his numbers was going to be somewhere around there, and I don't think that's low. I just think that's for who Nas is. He was going to do that,
Mm-hmm.
especially in this era.
All right.
You know, not
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So I guess you're right, man. I mean, you know, and you got a point there because I'm thinking of back in the day, and there's still people who can do that, but this time of the era, it's definitely mostly whatever the streaming services is recording versus to the
Mm-hmm.
album sales and things like that. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
please go pick up the Magic 3 album if you can, or
Yes,
listen to
sir.
it, stream it. I do think this should be in the category for rap album of the year. Uh, just nominate. I think it at least need to be nominated. From what I've been hearing, I think this should at least be,
I would say Magic too.
Magic 2. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go with Magic 2. Let's go with Magic
because
2.
I think Magic 2 is to me personally is better than Magic 3.
Yeah,
So I
I
think
agree
that should
with
be
you.
in the category of a nomination. You know, this one was just a good album.
This was a good
and-
goodbye album. This was classic Nas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Magic 2 should be up there. And so it wasn't too long before he released that anyway. So that still can go up for a Grammy or something out there. So yeah,
honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Like before we end off on this note, I would love to hear Nas go back to rapping with QB artists and things of that nature, like Mobb Deep, Cormega, AZ,
Mobb
Noriega,
Deep.
things of that nature.
I ain't gonna do with Mobb Deep. You have one left.
He's still, but Havoc still produce songs and he's still rapping.
But he ain't.
But
He
all rap together.
Havoc. He Havoc, not Mobb Deep.
Man, look, man. You know what they gonna say? Havoc of Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. When I see Method Man, I don't say Wu-Tang.
Yeah, but you say Method Man of Wu. Some people say Method Man of Wu-Tang. But what I'm saying is
Method Man
is a solo artist. Method Man, well, I guess Havoc is a solo artist too, because he dropped one or two solo albums. But either way, yeah, Havoc of Mobb Deep. I want to hear him produce some beats or rap with him. I liked Havoc. I ain't,
Yeah.
But I love QB artists too. So I always love when Nas rap with QB. That's my thing. I just I would love to hear him go back on the album rapping with.
I like that joint with him and 50.
artists.
I like that joint with him and 50, the Office Hours joint on Magic 2.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I love that.
I thought 50's presence on that song was good, but he could have did better on there too.
I think
that sounded like more like a
I said,
50 joint. Like
I thought it should have been longer. That's all. I thought 50 verse should have been longer on there. That's all. I don't. I think he did typical 50. 50 don't ever come hard on a song.
Yeah, 50 always just had good beats and good hooks.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard a 50 verse and said this nigga's hard.
Yeah,
that shit was. That's just my personal thing. I ain't saying he's a whack artist or nothing. I just never.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been a basic New York rapper to me.
Gotcha.
He's never had metaphors.
Yeah.
Good. Things of that nature.
Yeah, I gotcha.
He's not a Lloyd Banks.
Gotcha. So that's it on Nas' album, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode of The Pen and the Pad. I'm your host, Keon Mack. I've been over here kicking it with the boy Terry. Hey Terry, man, got anything you need to say to the people?
I'll pick up the album, man. Celebrate hip hop.
And make sure y'all follow
years.
us. Follow us on Spotify. Like our products, you know what I mean? And that's This Is Mac Presents on This Is Mac Network Presents on Spotify. So go ahead and put that in there. I'll be sending links and stuff out on our Facebook page. So just look out for us and do that thing right there with that button right there and do that thing and make us do that thing. You feel what I'm saying? I'm your host, Keon Mack. That's Terry. We out this bitch. Until next time, y'all. Peace out.
Be cooler.